pears are nutritious and full of vitamins. But are they all good to eat? If standards and guidelines have been used to produce, package and sell them, then yes.
My name is Jennifer Yuer, and I am a pear and cherry producer in the Hood River Valley. We do many things on the orchard that comply with Codex standards. Our good agricultural practices dictate that we have hygiene practices and cleanliness standards and quality standards that comply with Codex.
The Codex Alimentarius's Code of Hygienic Practice for Fresh Fruits and Vegetables provides standards and guidelines for every step of the chain, from orchard to the supermarket and consumer. Bruce Okawa is an agricultural consultant who is advising Jennifer on her current crop of Bartlett pears. By following his advice, she's certain that her fruit will be safe, as its exposure to pesticides will be below the Codex maximum residue levels, or MRLs, allowed for consumption.
Well, it looks like the bees are working hard today.
Yes, it looks like you're just past full bloom on the Bartletts now. Do you have anticipated time that you think you're going to be pulling your bees out of the orchard?
In a few days.
Okay. Well, we should probably be thinking about a petal fall application.
Are there any concerns about residue levels at this point?
You know, at this point, no, because your flowers, you're basically just starting to form fruit. We're about 125 days away from harvest on Bartletts at this time, so there's no concerns for MRL levels. As ag consultants, we monitor pest levels and that within the orchards, and then we don't pull the trigger on applying chemicals until we reach threshold levels where we know that if we do not, we're going to cause undue harm to the crop within the orchard, or potentially even within the trees themselves, to where they can't come back and be healthy trees.
That is Bruce's role, but when it is necessary to spray, then he's able to help direct us to use the chemicals in manners that will comply with Codex standards.
As of 2017, there are Codex maximum residue levels, or MRLs, for pears that cover 16 different pesticides. And as other countries also recognise these Codex standards, this ensures that the produce is acceptable for export.
And it all gets sent to Diamond. They pack it and they market it for us. And about a third of Diamond's crop is sold in the export market.
All of our water is treated with chlorine, and it's treated with a ORP system. So it's an automatic injection system that always maintains a preset level so that we never have any kind of issues with microbiological problems in tanks. We also have obviously some fairly strict rules for our employees. They have to wear gloves, they can't have any food in the warehouse, they can't have any loose jewelry in the warehouse. We watch all the time for any kind of a contaminant risk that could occur, whether it's from our employees or from the machinery or anything else. So it's a very important program for us in the warehouse and in the field.
All of the fruit that we carry have passed through the USDA Codex process. The local stuff we get in goes through the farmers who have very high standards, our packing houses who have very high standards, and then to our shelves here. And each item is hand touched by our produce individuals so that they can see what's going on with the product being put on the shelf.
I like to wear gloves because a lot of people touch the pears, and sometimes if we have to give a sample, it's better for us to have gloves on and our knives are sanitized so we can give the customers a good sample.
My recommendation to all consumers is to wash all fruit and vegetables before feeding them to your family.
Last year we exported to 25 countries throughout the world, and obviously a lot of those countries are smaller markets that rely on Codex standards for import qualification. So it's important that we have that for MRLs and that we are able to export to those countries. 35% of our product is a very substantial part of our program.